Hello, Kabir Southwick, traditional naturopath, Ayurvedic practitioner, and herbalist in beautiful Ojai, California. This talk is a continuation of my series called Self-Care, Not Healthcare. And this lesson is called Get Yourself Asleep No Matter What. Sleep is so important for our health. As we know, if we don't sleep soundly through the night, our next day we are not productive, we don't have good energy levels, our mood isn't as good, we're more irritable, and basically it affects our entire day. And not sleeping well also can contribute to a weaker body, a weaker immune system, and thus be the initial imbalance that can create more chronic and serious health concerns. So, in fact, when people come to me with any health concern, if they're not sleeping well, then I want to focus first on getting them to sleep better. In fact, proper and good sleep is a prerequisite to optimum health and a prerequisite to healing from any other health condition. Now, this is a holistic approach. Instead of being lost in just the symptom and trying to eliminate a symptom or treat a condition, it's better to step back from the trees, look at the whole forest, and see how you can help the body to heal itself, because in fact only the body can really heal itself, and it can't heal itself if it's not sleeping through the night. There's many metabolic processes that take place in the night regarding the eliminating organs, the liver and the kidney, and even weight loss is dependent on proper sleep. So almost anybody can benefit from sleeping better if they're not sleeping better. Of course, there is the kapha type, person who can stay up late, sleeps heavy, and can't get up in the morning. Their sleep tends to be a little too heavy, but that's a different subject. We're talking about the person who either has trouble getting to sleep, have a restless mind, or sleeps light and wakes up easy, or wakes up later in the evening. Of course, if you're waking up due to nighttime urination, then this is another issue with the bladder or kidney that needs to be addressed so you can sleep better. I first like to recommend making some lifestyle changes initially and making sure that this is not the cause of your insomnia or even poor sleep. You need to be in a dark room to sleep properly. I mean, the brain is taking signals from the environment to know when it's day and night, and at night, of course, the melatonin is released, in the day the serotonin is released, and the body is aware of the night and to release this hormone when it's dark. So if you're in a very bright room all evening, as the sun goes down, the body is not going to receive the signal that it's a night. So dim the lights, turn the lights down, even use some red lights. These apparently don't send the wrong signals to the brain. And in your room that you're sleeping in, eliminate all lights. No night lights, no flashing lights, and particularly no blue lights. And of course, the other issue is electromagnetic frequencies, to get rid of computers, cell phones, and even try turning the circuit breaker off for your bedroom. And that's the easy way to see whether electromagnetic frequencies are keeping you up at night. And it's the sensitive type, the vata type, who has insomnia and the nervousness, who tends to be more susceptible to these electromagnetic frequencies. So those would be two areas I'd really want to adjust. The room, the temperature of the room should be cool, not too warm, not too cold. It should be just right. And preferably you should be on a bed that doesn't have metal in it or a box spring, like a futon, or even being on the floor. And of course, this should be grounded. So preferably sleep on the ground. Many people who can't sleep well go camping, and they sleep fantastic. And I found that going camping resets your whole sleeping cycle, because you're outside, the sun goes down, and you just have a little firelight, which apparently does not confuse the brain, firelight or candlelight. And you get sleepy very early, and you wake up very early when the sun rises. So sleeping is a good way, camping is a good way to reset your sleeping cycle, get you to sleep earlier, get you up earlier, and of course it's very grounding because you're sleeping on the ground. But next, if you have difficulty sleeping, herbs are your answer, both to relax, for anxiety, nervousness, insomnia. Herbs are really a perfect solution because most of these herbs can be taken on a long-term basis. I have a product here, I just call my sleep tea, and this product, of course, has a few relaxing herbs in it, like catnip, chamomile, skullcap, and other nervines like kava kava and passion flower. And then I put some lavender in there to help with the aroma, and some lemon balm to improve the flavor. And so this type of tea, 1 or 2 cups an hour or so after dinner, can really help a person relax and to make them sleepy and actually stop the brain from thinking too much. But if the person still has trouble going to sleep, even though their mind is not as active with the tea, then they may need some stronger herbs. And that usually powders are much more potent than teas, because you're ingesting the actual powder instead of just the infusion from the tea. And the best herb here to really knock yourself out is valerian root. You wouldn't want to take it all by itself. I mix the valerian root with a little passion flower, kava kava, and a little nutmeg, and even some other herbs like fennel or coriander to help with the digestion of it. But mostly it's valerian root. And valerian root definitely has a kind of a numbing, knock you out feeling. And the nutmeg is a delayed sedative that doesn't kick in to 6 or 8 hours later, so it has a effect of keeping you asleep. So, you know, having a sleeping tea first after dinner, and then a little bit of that powder, a half teaspoon or a teaspoon at bedtime, will generally knock most people out. And once they get back to a good sleeping cycle, then they don't need it every night, particularly if they've improved their sleeping environment in their bed and made these type of changes. Of course, other things you can do is be more active in the day. Don't take naps in the day. Don't have heavy protein meals at night. Don't eat at night. And a very good home remedy is to have a warm milk with raw milk. It could be cow or goat, but it has to be raw, really, because white pasteurized milk is very unhealthy. But warm, raw cow's milk, warmed up, a little ginger. You should never have milk cold. It should always be warm. And put some nutmeg in it. Again, putting in that sedative of nutmeg is very, very effective. And for many of my clients who had years of insomnia, after making some changes to their lifestyle, the room, the sleeping environment, using the sleeping teas when necessary, found that having the warm milk with nutmeg every single night seemed to be the clincher that gets them to sleep every single night. So it's a very effective home remedy. You can also use essential oils. You can put chamomile, lavender, and water and spray it in the room, spray the pillow, put lavender in a bag and put it in your bed to help you or to go to sleep, this is very good for children to help them sleep a little bit better. So I hope that helped you sleep better, and I hope you're able to apply a little bit of it tonight if you do have issues with sleep, and don't hesitate to use herbal remedies to help you relax in the day. Oh, one other point I forgot is you have to avoid stimulants like coffee, of course. You want to have many of these herbs are nervines, helping to relax the nervous system. So the last thing you want to do is have a stimulant. Coffee would be the worst, but even too much green tea, even chocolate at night can be too stimulating. Other types of even alcohol has a certain depressive effect after a little while, but it also has a stimulating effect. So anything that's stimulating the body would want to be avoided, and want to keep yourself calm and relaxed throughout the day. So once again, thank you very much, and I hope you get a good night's sleep.